There are 20 million people getting health care through Obamacare now that he wants to take it away. He won't ever look you in the eye and say that's what he wants to do. Take it away.
There's been a lot of debate about how to give Americans affordable health care, from Obamacare to Medicaid and private insurance and more.
Already fixed it to an extent.
He has never done a single thing.
If we narrow the focus to Medicaid and the millions of Americans who depend on its coverage for health care, we see a program that must be protected. There are families, children, people with disabilities who will be lost without access to health care because of its high prices.
I had a choice to make. Do I save it and make it as good as it can be, or do I let it rot? And I saved it. I did the right thing. But it's still never going to be great, and it's too expensive for people. And what we will do is we're looking at different plans. If we can come up with a plan that's going to cost our people, our population, less money and be better health care than Obamacare, then I would absolutely do it. But until then, I'd run it as good as it can be run.
We talked to Ms. Shy Garrett, a nursing teacher at Washington Marion High School in Lake Charles, Louisiana. While she teaches students interested in going into the medical field, she has lived out a personal experience when she needed Medicaid.
I was 19. I had a baby at a young age. I was a nurse's aide. I hadn't gotten my degree yet, and Medicaid helped me do well baby visits with my baby. Like, I was able to get shots and take her to give her everything, and when it came time for her to go to the dentist, I was able to do that. Now, I did transition off of that years later because I got a degree, I got a job, so it actually allowed me to not be so stressed about who was going to take care of my baby while I was going through nursing school.
Data shows the majority of students in this community need Medicaid.
And so 80% of our students are economically disadvantaged, and Medicaid bridges that gap. They can't afford to do anything else, so being here and having their Medicaid be applied inside of our school-based health clinic is great. Like, it's a big deal.
Louisiana is one of the 40 states that expanded Medicaid as part of the Affordable Care Act. The ACA law wasn't always met with support and has gone through many periods of debate.
I want every American to have health care. I want every mother to be able to take her sick child to a family doctor instead of to an emergency room. But Obamacare is not working. I don't care how much you pretty it up, it's not going to work. It has got to be taken out by the roots, and we've got to start over.
On the other side, some lawmakers are fighting for health insurance for most low income and vulnerable people to be protected.
Members of this body come to this floor to talk about how to do trillions of dollars of tax benefits for the very wealthiest of Americans, while we're failing to get a bill on the floor for health insurance for America's poor and struggling children.
This is the video of then 1-year-old James Felder, a child who gets Medicaid coverage that his mom says is critical for his health.
My personal connection to Medicaid happened when my husband and I became foster parents. And we got a baby boy who had a lot of medical issues at the time. And that baby boy is our son now. He is 9 years old and happy and healthy. But when he came to us, he had a host of medical issues. Our private insurance would only cover a portion of the therapies and specialist appointments that we needed to get him to a point where he could be happy, healthy, and thriving. But fortunately, because of his foster care situation, we were able to keep his Medicaid card.
But changes have happened with reimbursement amounts, and that's caused some clinics to cut certain Medicaid coverages.
What that means from a personal standpoint is this consistency with care, with a doctor who knows our child, has seen the ups and downs and helped us get him to a healthy point, could be cut off, or we're going to be paying a lot more out of pocket to pay for him to continue to see this physician. And I see both sides. I see that these clinics can't lose money because they're treating Medicaid patients, but we can't lose access to high quality services because our children fall in that coverage zone.
If they ever do away with Medicaid, there will be a lot of people who will suffer. I mean, my mom is one too. She's retired. She has long-term care Medicaid now. She's diabetic, and her meds come from all of those things. So I see the benefits of it.
Our message to the next president is we need a solution to ensure affordable health care for every American.
There needs to be a plan, not arguments about a plan, that isn't in jeopardy every time there's a new president.
So just a yes or no, you still do not have a plan?
I have concepts of a plan. I'm not president right now. But if we come up with something, I would only change it if we come up with something that's better and less expensive. And there are concepts and options we have to do that. And you'll be hearing about it in the not too distant future.